ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Total Warhammer 2. As always, I'm D, and decided to talk about this one a little bit before I go into the game. A little bit about my plans for this, a little bit about the plans for the original Total War Wednesdays. I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there now. The original Total War Wednesdays is not going away. It's going to currently alternate between Total Warhammer 2 and Total Warhammer 1. I'll be finishing the Wintertooth campaign the way I have been, where it's the highlight reel kind of deal. For this one, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back to the old style of about like 30 minutes an episode. The reason I'm doing it is because this is the brand new one. It's got a lot of new stuff to it. I don't want to skip over anything. Now, I know that originally I said I was going to start off with a Skaven campaign, but everybody's doing Skaven. Or a lot of people are doing Skaven, a lot of people are doing Dark Elves. Originally, I was going to... let's go ahead and start a new campaign, because that's where we're going to... Originally, my plan was actually to use this gentleman here, Kroq-gar, of the of the Lizardmen. I might still do that, depending. I'm definitely going to try him, but for a test run, what I did was I tried out Lord Mazdamundi here. He is actually... It's actually kind of tough to play as him. It might just been me, but it seems like they also upped the difficulty of the AI in the battles. Like, they were being a lot smarter about their troop deployments, they were being a lot smarter about where to hit, when to retreat, and rallying. It might just be the new systems. There are a couple of new systems in this game, and I'll talk about them as we go along. But anyway, let's go ahead and introduce let's just do a quick rundown of the lords that are in this game at the start. Let's start with the Skaven, with Lord Kroq. He is more of a support character, since he's more about the rights, or at least about the pestilence schemes, and a lot of that comes from the fact that he represents Clan Pestilence, one of the clans of the Skaven, focused more around using plague. So he's got like cheaper pox cauldrons, cheaper pestilence scheme for the right. His plague monks, censer bearers, catapults, and plague priests, all of his plague units have lower upkeep, but he's also got Skaven corruption higher, a little bit higher Skaven corruption, which is actually a bad thing. The other Skaven Lord, Queek Headtaker, much more about getting into the melee and just tearing people up. He's better at fighting dwarves and greenskins, to the point that that's all he's really good at. But he also has lower upkeep for clan rats and storm vermin, and he also has 2 extra ability uses per battle for the Menace Below. If you're unfamiliar with Menace Below, what it does is it will spawn a free unit of clan rats wherever you need on the battlefield. It's actually pretty good, but he also has -2 loyalty for Grey Seers, which is not a good thing. Now the hardest of these, or at least, is also the one with the least clothing, Morathi, Queen of the Dark Elves, and Malekith's mother, and creepily enough, his lover. Dark Elves are weird like that. But yeah, lords in the region that Morathi is in have a chance to gain loyalty. I haven't had to deal with loyalty yet, but she's also big on corruption for chaos. 50% cheaper hero actions, and she starts off well on good grounds with Malekith. Now, Malekith is also an interesting one, because he gives experience to other lords. So he won't level up quite as fast, but his other lords will. Again, starts with some bonus for the Cult of Pleasure, which is Morathi. +2 loyalty for new recruits, and there's an increased chance of loyalty loss for lords if they're a higher level than Malekith. He himself just has cheaper upkeep for the Blackguard of Nagorond, the Dread Spears, Bleak Swords, and Dark Shards. Kroq-gar, 10% upkeep lower 10% lower upkeep for all units. He's got +10 leadership, cheaper upkeep for Saurus and Cold Ones. Stegodons, Bastillodons, Pterodons, and Carnosaurs have more armor and more leadership, and he has a 25% higher success chance for ambushes. He's also a very powerful melee combatant, apparently. Then there's Mazdamundi. He starts off with lower relations with everybody, and this doesn't go away ever. Cheaper construction for the Star Chamber, which is the the spellcaster line, cheaper rights, which is a big thing, and +1 capacity for Slan Mage Priests. He also has cheaper upkeep for the Temple Guard, which are kind of your elite melee units.
We can achieve.
Then the greatest ponce of them all, Teclis. 10 relations with Men and High Elves, which is the faction of Tyrion, or part of it. +30 Winds of Magic, and he always has access to Fireball. Now the one I'm going to be playing is this, mostly because of the Game of Thrones joke I've been making with Wintertooth, is Tyrion here. -1 turn for infantry and cavalry unit recruitment, so but minimum of 1, so if it takes 4 turns normally to recruit a cavalry, he'll do it in 3. He's also got 35% lower upkeep for spearmen, archers, and silver helms. Like I said, we're going to be playing as Tyrion here, the Lord of Lothern. Spear coordination, melee combat when high elves enter battle at full strength. So if your units are fully healed, they'll be stronger. Espionage and intrigue are his new race abilities, though. Influence can be spent on superior lords or used to affect diplomacy between factions. So I can actually make, say, the lizardmen hate the dark elves if I want. Or I can make 2 factions of lizardmen hate each other. Espionage trade agreements allow line of sight to assets controlled by the trade partner. So if I have a trade agreement with Queek, I can see what Queek can see. So they're very much a cerebral playstyle. I'll shut up now.
Who are the Asur? An enigma to men and dwarfs, who know them as High Elves. At the center of the great ocean lies Ulthuan, a paradise created by the Old Ones. But when the stellar gates collapsed, demons flooded the mortal plane. All was lost until Anarion the Defender strode forth. The first Phoenix King vanquished the demons with the aid of the Archmage, Calador Dragontamer. It was Calador and his elven mages who created the Great Vortex. A swirling maelstrom that siphoned the excess magic, withering demonkind. With the world purged of chaos, the elves took it upon themselves to become guardians and stewards. The twin-tailed comet is oft seen as an omen, but this time, its wake brought great peril.
The dragon with 2 tails flies lower than before. Its trail disturbs the vortex.
I have felt a change in the winds of magic.
Then write it, brother. Lead the mages of Safari. Bring all in the White Tower to bear if you must.
Such lore is currently beyond us.
I suggest a scrying ritual in the Pool of Isha. It may provide us with the answer.
Such a ritual requires fragments of fallen waystones. Far more than we have.
Then we find more. Make ready your ritual, Lordmaster Talarian. You will have your fragments.
I shall start the search in Lustria.
Lustria?
My brother will search here, in Ulthuan.
Why do you care so much about the greater world?
Why do you not? Stay here, brother. Protect Ulthuan. But I venture beyond our borders.
And while you meddle in far-flung continents, I will ensure you have a home to return to.
Yeah, high elves are dicks. Ever watchful for a chance to strike at their mortal enemies, the hateful dark elves have taken advantage of the discord wrought by the comet's appearance, launched an invasion of Ulthuan, the divine home of the high elves. Lothern, the high elf capital city and seat of the Phoenix King, is greatly threatened. Cursing his brother's absence and with the few forces at his disposal, Tyrion marches south to lead the counterattack. Okay, for those of you that don't know the lore, the Phoenix King is known as the heir of Anarion, the Defender. The guy who who was one of the two leaders to, throw back the demon invasion. And yeah, the elves are also the reason for the state of the world. Teclis is actually one of the big reasons that the end times happen the way they do. Bloody idiot. Anyway, you have to be recognized as the true king of the elves. You have to undergo a test where you bathe in the fires of Asuryan. And that's not a metaphor. You actually step into a giant fire. The actual true Phoenix King of the elves is actually supposed to be Malekith, the Lord of the Dark Elves. But nobody told him that the way the test worked is you go in, the fire burns you, and then it heals you stronger than you were. So he stepped into the fire, burned a lot of his skin, and promptly did the smart thing and got the hell out of there. Unfortunately, people took this to mean, he took it to mean, the fire rejected me. So, went a little nuts. Never got better. Not really. And like I said, Teclis is actually kind of the reason that the end times happen the way they do. Because the Great Vortex, what it was talking about, is one of the big things
Fellow Azure,
in this
rally to my banner.
campaign.
Ulthuan is under attack, and the Great Vortex imperiled like never before. The Druki invade us in number. No doubt Malekith or his twisted crone of a mother have sensed weakness in the Vortex. Their attack is blatant. They come directly for the sea gates of Lothern. The seat of the Phoenix King must not fall. Finnobar has entrusted me to lead the counterattack. Join my cause, brave Azure, and together we shall overcome. The Druki cannot be allowed to despoil the sanctity of Ulthuan. Draw your weapons, and by Asuryan's will shall we prevail.
Right then, anyway. Yeah, that vortex in the back. Alright, how they play. High elf factions gain influence as political events fall in their favor, which may be spent on court intrigues and on recruiting more powerful lords and heroes. Can spend their influence on intrigues at the court, which whispered deals in the halls of power that pull strings to improve or worsen diplomacy between factions. High elves use trade agreements to spy on their partners. High elf factions have full visibility over the territory of any faction they trade with. But anyway, okay, let's see. One of the following buildings have been constructed. I had to upgrade Lothern to an elven village. Let's get that off. Alright, so I had to also attack anything belonging to Morathi. Let's go ahead and upgrade this. But yeah,
Shield against the darkness.
part of the issue with the High Elves was that one thing that happened to them, or one of the reasons things kind of go pear-shaped for them, is eventually Tyrion is killed. And Teclis decides, I need my brother. So what he does is he goes and shatters the vortex, which is made up of the 8 winds of magic. And he personally takes one of the winds. Do I have? No, I don't. Yeah, you also have to unlock all the research. But anyway, Teclis takes one of the winds and he imbues it into Tyrion to revive him. Needless to say, the other 7 winds kind of go off and find their own people. Which actually literally results in the birth of Nagash becoming even more powerful. Nagash will eventually be in this game because they want. I'm really looking forward to Khemri being in here.
Tyrion, heir of Anarion.
What's the garrison like? Bleak swords, dread spears, and dark shards. All right.
Protector of the Everqueen.
Oh, cool! I can just walk across
By
that.
Asuryan.
Let's go ahead and get a battle going. But anyway, Yeah, so like I said, he shatters the vortex, which creates the incarnates. And Teclis never fucking learned from that. To be fair, that the old world and the new world was destroyed, which led to the Age of Sigmar. But hey, he meant well. Doesn't change the fact that Teclis was just a fucking idiot. So this episode's gonna be a bit longer because it needs to be, because of all the intro stuff. Tyrion versus Bane. But yeah, like I said, there's gonna be I'm not gonna be able to avoid making Game of Thrones jokes because it's literally spelled the same. Although to be fair, Warhammer has been around a lot longer than Game of Thrones. At least I think so. I know Warhammer's been around for a long time, but alright, so I've got Tyrion himself, 3 units of spearmen, 4 units of archers, a siege weapon, that's basically a ballista I think, and a phoenix. Now each of the brothers actually gets a different kind of phoenix. Tyrion gets what you'd think of when you think of a phoenix. He gets a flaming bird of doom. Teclis, I think, gets a frozen version. Like if you play League of Legends, think Anivia.
Servant of light, heir of Anarion.
Loyal, without fail.
Flamespire Phoenix has 10 uses of Wake of Fire. Bombardment around self, cannot use if engaged in melee. So yeah, it's powerful explosion, small strike area, strong versus multiple combatants. Good. So the entire use of that.
Archers.
Luckily, all archers also start off on skirmish mode in this.
Heir of Anarion.
Archers.
That is a great range. Not quite as good as my Eagle Claw bolt thrower, but I'm gonna send in the Flamespire to deal with them. Also to slow down the Dark Shards. Actually, no. Let's do this smarter. And not get him shot out of the air. Now, one thing, I don't know if you can turn off the timer. What I'm trying to do here is I'm not trying to engage them in melee, I'm just trying to get him to where he can launch a bombardment. Oh, okay. So it's literally just a case of he drops an explosion as he goes. Kind of like that. Alright, now you guys go ahead and deal with that. Luckily. Oh wow. Their bleak swords are just getting shredded by my archers. My melee guys are not even getting into range.
Defender of Ulthuan. Brothers. Orders received. Ulthuan. Witness martial excellence.
Well, at least Tyrion is a decent melee combatant. That is another thing. They've also changed up how legendary lords can fight. For example, in Warhammer 1, a mage legendary lord like Archaon could quite literally, he could fire off a spell that would devastate the enemy, and then he could just wade into combat. Granted, that's pretty much in keeping with the lore with Archaon, because Archaon is noted for being insanely dangerous, both in physical and magical combat.
Spearman. Heir of Anarion.
I've lost a total of 2 troops. They've lost 200. Anyway, like I was saying, Archaon's known for being a bit of a monster, both in close combat and in magical combat, because he's the ever-chosen of Chaos for a reason, and you don't get to be Lord of Chaos in this world without being able to support yourself.
Defender of Oath One.
Actually, you know what?
We will obey. For the king.
And there's the win. It might just be that I'm playing with a lord that I can actually get into combat, but like I said, I tested with Mazda Mundi of the Lizard Men, of the Slan. You don't want him getting anywhere near melee. He starts off with some really good spells. One that's a really strong buff, and then one that heals your target for quite a bit. But yeah, you do not want Mazda Mundi anywhere near a melee combat, because he is pathetic. I have yet to try Kroq-gar, but... Alright, so 54 kills for the bolt thrower, 29 for one of my archers, 43 for another archer, so... I was gonna say, the archers of the High Elves are bloody dangerous. Come on, load just a little bit more, that's all you need. Alright, they killed 8. I'm guessing my bolt thrower or my archers killed the last. Decisive victory. Some loot. I will say this for Mazda Mundi though, it's very easy to get a very powerful economy burning for him really quickly. Starlance. Strikes the rest. The Star Dragon cannot be unmade while the Drakes still live upon Ulthuan. 10 armor piercing, 12 charge, 4% weapon strength, and enables magical damage. That is pretty strong. Okay, we're gonna occupy the Glittering Tower. You really want to do this because wave fragments, these things I'm picking up, these things right here, they are very important because one of the ways to win this is to take over the vortex by completing 5 rituals. Alright, so I just gotta go take over the Tower of Lycian. Or Tower of Lycian. Alright, I'm actually going to deconstruct that. Rebuild it there. Holy, 1,000 income from one. I mean, it's 13,500 to get it, but still, that's insane.
Servant of the king.
Tyrion is the king, I thought. Alright. But yeah, you can also get Dragon Armor Venarian and Sunfang Malandir for a. It's just a horse. Let's see, Sunfang. Good abilities, flaming and magical attacks. Can disrupt unit formation, expanding tier-shaped attack. Okay, so it's a breath weapon. And then the armor gives fire, physical and physical resistance and a ward save. So some of the the legendary items in this game are a little bit insane. In this new one. All right, we're just gonna leave Tyrion there. I don't have anything there, but. Okay, none of these are good. Oh, okay. You have to use influence to get the good stuff. Yeah, that's good to know that. Otherwise, recruiting is basically pointless. What rights do we have as the High Elf? The Invocation of Vol. Dilemma will offer a powerful magical item. Recruitment cost down for some of them. Armor up for the same. +2 experience for them when they're recruited. An army ability, Vol's Hammer during siege battles. Ooh. The Invocation of Assyrian gives me +2 influence per turn for a bit. Okay. Ooh, immunity to attrition. The Invocation of Isha sounds good. But yeah, let's see. So I need 350 wave fragments, and I've got 9. Since I need diplomacy, let's see. Who do I have? Who can I talk to already?
How can I assist you? All are given a fair hearing in the Phoenix Court.
Let's go ahead and see if I can get a trade agreement with you guys.
If you wish.
I'm gonna just see how many trade agreements I can go ahead and build.
Welcome. What would you have the Assur do?
Oh, I've already got one with you guys, so never mind. Wait, no, I can't. I just can't get one yet. Why is Kalidor pissed off? Oh well. Okay, I've only got 2 influence anyway, so that doesn't matter.
Our traditions make us strong.
I'm going to have to go and take the Shrine of Asaurian, because that is an important building. You're also looking for ritual sites.
Isha bless you.
What is this? Court of the Phoenix King. Ooh. Let's actually get... Yeah, let's get the plaza for now, so I can actually start getting some more public order. A couple more troops. Next turn I'll be able to build more.
Greetings. The Phoenix Court will hear your words.
Safari. You know what? Bugger it. I'll pay you 100 for a trade agreement, since that gives me information on what you're doing. Let war make way for commerce. Alright, so what do I need to do? Ensure I build a rally field. Alright, here? Okay, I can already get grazing meadows. Also build the Elven Gardens. Stop that actually so I can see what else it does. Okay, so it's just, that just gives me nobles.
Alariel's champion.
How long until that Phoenix is back? 2 turns.
Inspecting the garrison.
Go put you over at Lothern.
Protector of the Everqueen.
But yeah, there's a ton of factions in this, and I heard, I don't remember the exact number, but it's over 100 factions between the 2 games, which is going to make the super grand campaign or whatever it's called. I think it's like the mega campaign officially. That's going to be insane, and I'm looking forward to that. Alright, build an archive, a grand repository, or an elven gardens. Build a colonnade.
The Reaper.
Alright, so that'll be all for now. What I really need to do is get, and then the rest of the army I'm going to fill out with cavalry. You might also be wondering, if there's that many factions in this game, why are there only 4 you can play as? Technically there's 8. Alright, so build Lotharn up to an elven town.
I hear the Widowmaker.
I know this is not what I need, but hold on. Negative growth in Lotharn. So, oh well.
Tyrion.
Yes, I know your name is Tyrion.
To victory.
It's the Tower of Lycian. Who is that? Illyrian. Okay. Luckily, if I can take that, that'll give me Straits of Lotharn.
Elven beauty.
I'm sorry, but the High Elves are ponces.
What do you wish to discuss?
More trade? Always would. Because that means I get more money.
I am the defender of Ulthuan. Choose your words carefully.
They will pay me for a non-aggression pact. Yeah, I'll take it. What is my income right now, I wonder? I know I have like 5,000 in the bank, but... skeggy. I've got a 2,000 income already. Recruit a hero. Problem is, these heroes suck. You know what?
Noble son of Ulthuan.
A recruitment cost increase is not that bad, honestly. Successfully carry out any hero action.
Smash it to ruins.
Let's try secure influence.
Servant of the king. By Assurium.
Alright, this is
By
just...
lust for battle.
Okay, I didn't need to hear about that, but... Alrighty. They've got a couple of shards at the back, a couple of bleak swords, and a single unit of dread spears. Luckily, this will mean if I can take this, and I should be able to without much of an issue.
Heir of Anarion. Eager for battle.
Then this will actually make me
Loyal.
the Supreme Lord of the Straits of Lotharn.
Of Anarion.
Let's actually, you know what, actually let's compact them a little bit more.
Sword of the Assur.
Let's go ahead and get started. What are those? Dark shards. Oh, that did some damage already. Not a lot, but I think it killed one. Yep. Alright, my Phoenix is wheeling in. Its entire job is literally just...
For duty. Turn about.
This is literally what I wanted it to do, which is just... scatter and kill. Which basically to me looks like it's... my bird is just going around taking a dump. Yeah, you can also do basically shotgun rounds with your...
It shall be done.
This is actually going quite well already. Gotta up... But yeah, like I said, you gotta up your game a little bit to deal with the new... Because the AI has gotten a bit smarter, but at the same time, the Druchii here, the Dark Elves, don't seem to be doing that well. I mean, they are fighting a guy with a magical flaming sword of doom, but... And their archers have not even managed to stay in the fight, so... Took me less than 3 minutes. Granted, my army was also considerably larger. Go ahead and end it there. And just like that, the Straits of Lothern belong to me. They killed 13, I killed 148. Units do cost money to recruit and also require further payment per turn for upkeep. Yeah, I know. Although, to be fair, having a little bit of trouble understanding why exactly. I mean, I understand you need to pay your troops, but especially for, like, Actually, no, even with the undead, it makes sense, because you gotta pay the upkeep to have your guy continue to hold them up and moving. Tyrion, oh, wait, no, I was gonna say Tyrion won the kill contest in this game, in that fight, but actually was one of the archers, got 28.
A glorious victory.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that, Tyrion. Scarecrow banner, ooh. That is gonna go straight to the Phoenix.
The gods
Occupy the
are
Tower
pleased.
of Lycian. Means I now control.
We are the
Let's see, we
guardians
have
of all.
Banished Corruption, +2 Untainted, in the local province. Unit experience +1 for all unit recruits, local recruitment capacity +1, that's good. Rebuild loss minus 10% construction cost for all buildings and 20 growth. Tribute to the Phoenix King, which is more income from trade and higher tax rate. Reaver Patrol, minus 10% campaign movement for armies starting their turn in this region for enemies. Enemy hero success chance minus 15% for all regions in the province, and plus 10% ambush success chance for me. We're actually going to do Rally Citizen Militia. Just going to go ahead and demolish that. Alright. And that unlocks the Invocation of Isha. Oh, right. What I'm going to do next,
Of the Ever Queen.
we're going to go ahead and upgrade... Upgrade Tyrion here. We'll get to swordplay. But that'll be this episode done, folks. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I can already tell you I am. Dorian?
You have my attention.
Oh right, I forgot I did get one of you, didn't I? Like I said in the description for the most recent or actually no, I haven't said that yet, because this is going up the day I record it, which is the date it was released, which is Thursday, 9/28. It's not going to replace anything else, and this is going to be one of the only times I do this. But like I said, I'm going to be putting this one out. Next week will be the usual Wintertooth. The week after that will be the next episode of here in Ulthuan. That's that, folks. I have been D. We've started our campaign to take over that vortex in the background there. We're doing it in the name of Asuryan. So good night, and good gaming.